Good morning. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to hear my voice. So you can either read this by yourself or you can just listen to me as I read through it. So the directions are to read and highlight the main points in each of the 10 steps. And then I asked you to answer the 8 questions below. And the purpose of this activity is just to understand how a bill actually becomes a law and what's the difference between a bill and what's the difference between a bill and a law. Excuse me. Okay. So, number one, here's step one. So, the bill begins. So, laws begin as ideas, and these ideas come from representatives or they come from ordinary citizens. If a representative agrees with the idea, he or she may write them down as bills. So, bills are laws that have not been voted and agreed upon. So, a bill is the same thing as a law, it's just not legal yet. A bill is trying to become legal. Step two. The bill is proposed. Each bill needs a sponsor or a state representative who supports the bill. So when you have an idea that you want to become law, you actually speak to your state representative. If they agree with you, then they will talk to the other representatives in Congress in hopes of convincing more people to vote for the idea or law that you want to become a law. After the bill is proposed, we get to step 3, which is the bill is introduced. Once the bill is introduced in the U.S. House of Representatives, a reading clerk will read the entire bill to all representatives in the House. That's including the Speaker or the leader of the House of Representatives. After the bill is introduced, it goes into what we call a committee. This is a group of representatives who are experts on topics like agriculture. So if the law that you want put into place deals with agriculture, then it'll go to the committee that specializes in agriculture, not the people that specialize in education. You only want people to know about this bill at first that are experts so they can tell you if your law is good or not. So when it goes into committee, this is a group of representatives who are experts on topics like agriculture, education, international relations, etc. And it's during this step that the bill is reviewed, researched, and then possibly revised. After the bill goes into committee, we get to the step 5, which is the bill's reported. So if the bill survives committee, so in other words, when the committee people like it and they've changed it enough to where they think it will actually pass, then the bill is going to go back to the House of Representatives where it will be debated by everyone. So not just Republicans, but Republicans, Democrats, independents, so on and so forth. So the bill is debated. That means it's explained, and then the representatives are given the opportunity to state why they do or why they do not agree with the bill. The bill may be also changed once again. Once all changes are made and approved, the bill is ready to be voted upon. And this whole process that you're learning about right now is exactly what took place during the writing of the Declaration of Independence. So the next step, step 7, says the bill has to be voted on. The bill must have at least 51% of the House of Representatives agree with it. So it has to have a majority. Or the bill, quote unquote, dies. In other words, it gets thrown out. If the bill receives 51% approval, then it's passed on to the U.S. Senate. Once the bill is sent to the Senate, then steps 4 through 7 are repeated, only now the bill is edited, revised, and voted on by the U.S. Senate. If the bill is approved by at least 51% of the U.S. Senate, so in other words, it gets a majority again in the U.S. Senate, then the bill goes right to the president. And the president has 3 options. The first thing that he or she can do is approve the bill, and it becomes law. The second thing he or she can do is what we call veto it, which means reject it. Say, I don't like it, it's not a good law, and throw it out. If it's vetoed, then the bill can go back to Congress. But here's the deal. 2/3 of the House of Representatives and Congress have to agree on it. So in other words, more people have to agree on it the second time because the president disagreed with it. So 2/3 of the House of Representatives and Congress must agree on the bill in order for the bill to become a law without the president's approval. If the bill doesn't get 2/3 of approval by the House of Representatives and Congress, then the bill dies, what we call dies. It's thrown out. The third option is that the president doesn't have to approve it or disapprove of it. They can just do nothing. And sometimes they do this. By doing nothing, I mean if the bill is not approved or rejected by the president and Congress is currently in session, so in other words, they're working, then the bill will automatically become law after 10 days. And sometimes the president will do that if he or she likes the law but doesn't want to go on record as approving it, things like that. So then the bill will automatically become law after 10 days. If the president does nothing and Congress is not in session, so in other words, they're not working right now, then the bill dies and it's thrown out. Last step, the obvious step, the bill becomes a law. So if a bill has passed both houses of Congress and has been approved by the president, or a presidential veto has been overturned, then the bill will automatically become law. So what I want you to do is I want you to go through here and highlight the main points, because that's going to help you when you start answering these questions. These questions need to be answered in complete sentences. I realize there's 8 of them, but you should be okay. Make sure that you email me. You can Google Hangout me. You can go to meet.google.com and schedule a meeting. That's just essentially Google Hangouts. It's a web-based program. Okay? You can do any one of those things, and I'm here until 3 o'clock today. See ya. Bye.